everyone, welcome to Gardening TLC. I am Michelle. Welcome to my garden. We are back at my house today. We are going to do a tour today of all the gardens because I almost let May slip by without doing a garden tour. I want to make sure that I'm chronicling everything that's going on this year because we are making changes in some of the beds, and some of the beds, ooh, they look so good right now, and we're adding some new beds, so I want to see what they look like from start to finish. Also, we've had a great spring, lots of rain and lots of mild temperatures, so the gardens, they're looking really good right now. Let's go check it out. I have been getting ready for a garden fair that I'm involved in this weekend at the Clem Arboretum here in Rockford, Illinois. And it takes a lot of work to go to a garden show, load your truck up, set up your display, be there for 2 days. But I'm so excited to go. But in the process of setting all that up, I totally forgot to get a video recorded. So I'm like, oh my gosh, today is the 30th. We have to get one done. Now, for those of you that are new, welcome. I'm so glad that you decided to join me. I will be doing some clips of the garden show, and I'll show you that next week. We also have some new beds that we'll be putting in, some transplanting that we're going to do, and some revamping of some existing beds. All of that will be coming up this summer, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We've also got some landscape designs that I've done out in the community, and we will be doing and installing those as well. I am in Northern Illinois Zone 5. I own a garden center. I'm a home gardener. I actually volunteer for the University of Illinois Extension as a master gardener, but I'm also a retired landscape designer. I say it all the time, I'm retired, but then I'm out doing designs for people and putting in landscaping. So I'm gonna say I'm semi-retired. I kind of cherry pick the jobs that I wanna do. But today, we are here at my house and let's tour the gardens. We're gonna start right here at the driveway bed and we're gonna make our way around. Now, I don't know that my gardens are all that, but I love my gardens and I thought I'd share them with you. So let's go take a look. The other reason I like to do garden tours is because I really like to assess each of my beds and look at them and go, what's going on in that bed? How does it look in the month of June? Like right now, I look at this driveway bed, and even though I have this big, glorious sunset Monet Weigela, which I'll show you close up in just a second, it's the only thing blooming. And everything is green. There's no blue, there's no yellow. So I'm kind of like, you know what? I think I need to change some things around in this bed. Now, I might or might not get to it this year, but it's something to make note of, and that's why I like to chronicle what's going on in the garden, because I want 4 seasons of color, but I also want different textures, different colors of green, different shapes in the plants. And right now, I have a lot of things that are strappy foliage and a lot of things that aren't blooming yet. So I have a lot of midsummer and late summer, but I think I need to up my game on early summer. So as I pan this bed, you know, overall, it doesn't look bad. Everything is really healthy, but it's all green, all the same shade of green. So I think I might make some changes in here. So when we come over here, we do have a really beautiful Jane magnolia that already bloomed. It's absolutely one of my favorite magnolia trees. It doesn't get crazy big. We cleaned out all the bottom branches on it earlier this year when we cleaned up this bed. We have some tall stone crop over here. And then we have our alliums right here, and see how everything's kind of strappy foliage? The alliums are like that. There's some liatris in here. See, that kind of has the same foliage. Daylilies kind of has the same foliage. I think I need to change some things up in here. Then we've got some more stone crop here, or sedum. And then if we come around the corner, then we have black-eyed Susans, followed by more daylilies. Daylilies are so easy though, especially on the edge of the driveway. Now, I am seriously thinking about taking the daylilies out. I don't know if I'll get to it this year or not, but I'm really thinking about it. Now, this Weigela is a Sunset Monet. I love this thing. It is so beautiful. Look at the variegated leaves on there with the yellow margins and the green center, and then that beautiful fuchsia flower. This is a repeat bloomer, so when it's done, it will actually flush again. I am going to trim this up a little bit. It is a little bit big, so I am going to be cutting this guy back probably by a third after he's all done flowering. Now, this is a unique bed in that it does get morning sun. The sun the sun rises behind me, and then it travels over the house and it goes that way. So here we have big maple trees, and so I get a lot of shade up towards the house, but more sun out towards the edge. So down here we've got some beautiful hostas. I do not remember the names of all of these hostas, but I do know that that one is an earth angel. I don't remember this one. I know this is a Francis William, one of my favorite hostas. I don't remember this guy, but I really like the color on it. These are the Autumn Frost by Proven Winners, those three right there. There's a Coast to Coast, that one's also by Proven Winners. And I'm still dealing with my dead foliage from my tulips and my daffodils. They need to die back, probably another 3 more weeks, and then I'll be able to pull them. If we come around this way, you can see that we do have some little lime fruit punch hydrangeas in here. There's 5 of them all in a row, and then we've got some sprinter boxwoods that desperately need a haircut. So we need to get in on that pretty quick here before it gets really, really hot. But all in all, I mean, this bed, it's pretty nice. I do like it. I like the hostas. They finally started to get some size. Some of these are smaller hostas, and as you can see right here, I've got room. I got room for something else. I think I might add some more hostas and or coral bells there. All right, so let's walk into the next garden, but before we do, check it out. One of my little wild berry heucheras came back. I had 3, only 1 came back, and I struggle so much with these deep dark purple ones and getting them to come back. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous though? So this one is by Proven Winners. It is called Wild Berry. Now, instead of putting 2 more in, I decided to try 2 potato vines here because they'll grow in part sun. Now this is a Proven Winner Sweet Caroline Sweetheart Jet Black. And so I just like the leaf structure on that. I grew the green one last year and I really liked it. So I'm gonna try the black one here. These 2 pots flank the entrance into the next garden. I am really liking these pots. We did them about a month ago. We have a spiral eucalyptus in the middle, and then we put curly willow coming out all over on the pot. We used white geraniums. They're just a white zonal geranium. And then we used a creeping Jenny as our spiller. But what is really the star of this pot, I love this Peachy Keen Superbena by Proven Winners. I love the 3 different colors that you kind of get on each one of these little flowers. Isn't that gorgeous? And I love this Saffron finch. This is so beautiful. And right now, see how it's kind of mixing with that helichrysum that I put in there? The Saffron finch is also from Proven Winners, but I just love the way these pots look. This is probably by far one of my favorite beds. It has got such a cooling effect to it because it's always in dappled shade. We have a row of maples behind me that shade this garden. So this is south facing. So you would think that I'd have to use things that can handle hot afternoon sun, but nope, you can see the sun peeks in and out all day, and I use a lot of part shade plants. So we have boxwoods, we have oak leaf hydrangeas, we have hostas, coral bells. I love this garden bed. Now, the other thing that I do with this garden bed is I tucked little Sedona bowls in that I filled with impatiens, and those will mound up and give it a big punch of color throughout the whole garden. I absolutely love doing that in my garden beds. This year we've chosen salmon. Now they are just getting going, but we are going to tour this bed next. This is an Alice oak leaf hydrangea, and it's the very first thing you see when you come around the corner. I think it is glorious. It is just now starting to form its flowers. These leaves turn red in the fall, and it gets probably anywhere from 6 feet high to 6 feet wide. So it's in its 5th year, and it's loving its life here. I do prune it a little bit after it's done flowering to kind of control the size, but it blooms on old wood. So you don't do a hard prune on this, and you don't prune it in the spring or the fall, or you'll lose all your flowers. The other thing we have going on in this bed are some beautiful June hostas. I have one right there. I have a little baby one right here that bleached out in the greenhouse. So I brought it over here and put it in the ground, and that will get bigger and revert to the color it's supposed to be. Maybe not this year, but probably next year. And then I have another one right there. I also have 3 winter gem boxwoods in this garden. The winter gem boxwoods get probably 3 by 3. I really like this boxwood. I have yet to prune these. I just like the shape of them like this. I don't always want them to be a little ball. You can see another little Sedona bowl in here that we popped the little salmon impatiens in. Those will mound in and be gorgeous. This is a little Palace Purple heuchera that we actually popped up out of the ground. It was behind this Patriot hosta and moved it right there because it was getting hidden as this hosta gets bigger and bigger. We have a Korean feather reedgrass with 2 Jack of Diamonds Brunnera here. And then when we swing back around this way, we have a beautiful, incredible hydrangea also starting to form up some of its big, beautiful flowers. In here we have a beautiful begonia with some white impatiens. It is called Gryphion. I had some people asking me that before. It's kind of like the Proven Winter Pegasus, but this one was what was available. I just love the silver veining in that. Keep moving down the bed. Here's another little bowl, and you'll see just a repeat kind of what's going on. Got a hose back there because look, I broke my spigot. I have a guy fixing it. He had to run and get some parts, so hopefully that'll get fixed later today. And then we come down here, another Sedona bowl, and then we come to my Serrata mountain hydrangea. This one is called Aha. It's from Proven Winners. We've got 3 more of the Korean feather reed grass back here, and then we've got some citronella heucheras along with some Palace purple. Now what's interesting is see how much more citronella color or yellow they are now. They actually had kind of a two-tone color going on when you look at the April video when they were first coming up. So looking nice. Here's our Dirovella. This one is the Kodiak orange. We just put that in along with this little Paris heuchera. And then we have another one of the Palace purples right there. So there is that garden bed. Isn't that great? Now this pot here has got a Proven Winners pineapple brandy coleus in it, and then it's flanked by a 4-pack of the salmon impatiens. These will also grow up and be absolutely glorious. What do you guys think so far? I think it's looking really good. Now I know some of you are going to ask me about the cicadas and all of the hubbub that's going on about those. So I have my share of them, and we will see them when we get to the hosta garden. There are skeletons all over the place. You can lift up the leaves and it's like a carpet of them underneath. And then there's live ones crawling all over my hostas. Now, so far I've had no damage, and I'm not really going to worry about it. We have a lot of birds, and they are great food for the birds. So I'm hoping that the birds are going to pick them all off before they can really do any damage. Now, I know some people have it way worse than I do. The only advice I can give you is if you have like a brand new tree with purple foliage, or a brand new, like we're talking little bitty tree, maybe you might want to wrap that. I don't know. I think you're going to have more damage further south than we do up here in the north. I'm not sure what to expect because we've never had in my lifetime a hatching like this. So I don't know. I guess do a little homework, do your research. I'm kind of not really gonna freak out about it. I'm just gonna kind of let nature do its thing. If I find that it's like eating up a plant or something, then maybe I'll cover it with some netting. But for the most part, I'm just gonna walk my gardens and keep an eye on things and kind of go from there. All right, let's move into the backyard. It's one of my favorite places to be, is right in here. This little bistro set, I found this at like a junk antique sale for 20 bucks. What a buy, because man, I love sitting out here. Now this little bowl that I did right here, this is a coleus from Proven Winner. It's called the Mini Me Watermelon. Isn't it so sweet? I love that chartreuse edge and that watermelon colored foliage. It's gorgeous. All right, as we move on from that, we've got our 3 bowls here that we did maybe a week ago. We've got the Surefire White Begonias, we've got the Double Impatiens, the Chocolate Drop, coleus in here along with a wire vine. We've also got a jet black Caroline sweet potato. I just love it. And then we added a couple hostas in here. We got our cherry cola heucheras. I just love this little corner. Then we come up the steps and we've got our blue Laguna from Proven Winners lobelia with the salmon impatiens, and I'm really loving the color combination of these two together. I just think it looks so pretty. Coming up the steps, we've got my Sedona bowl that I absolutely love to plant. We've done 3 different kinds of Proven Winner super tunias in here. We did the Royal Velvet, which is this really pretty dark purple. We also did the Bordeaux, which I think I forgot to mention when I talked about planting this. And then we did the Saffron Finch. We also did the Snow Princess Alyssum, and then we did a cypress in the middle. That's the Cleopatra. Isn't that great? I just love this bowl. It's going to fill in and be absolutely gorgeous. Then we've got our hanging baskets here that we did coleus in, and I just love this basket. We did the Calibrachoa Chameleon Pink Splash. We also did a Calibrachoa called Cali Coral. That's this one right there. And then we did a Proven Winners Calibrachoa, just the yellow. And then we used the Creeping Jenny as our trailer. These are coming along very nicely. I like these a lot. This is my herb garden, and so things are just starting to get going up here. Some of the perennial herbs are bigger than the annual ones, and I definitely need to deadhead this rose. This is a double pink by Proven Winners. It's an Oh So Easy rose, and it needs a little bit of love we'll get it some love here, maybe later this afternoon. But as you can see here, these are all my herbs. We've got thyme, oregano, basil, chives, sage, all kinds of wonderful herbs that we use in here. We also sprinkled throughout the whole garden bed some geraniums that we started from seeds. So those are all just getting going. I just planted those maybe a week ago, if that. So those are just getting going. Now here we have a nice patch of Nepeta. This is the Walker's Low Catmint. And I can tell you right now, just standing here looking at this, there's got to be at least 30, 40 bees all over this thing. And these are honeybees. I'm just going to kind of hold it here. I don't know if you can see them moving around or not in there. There are a lot of bees in there. We do have beehives in our back 16 acres that we own. So a lot of these bees might be from over there. And then we've got a butterfly right down there fluttering around on them too. So I love that we have these pollinators for them. So pollinate away, you guys, and go make some honey. Now we have a unique situation in our bed in that we do have a maple tree that sits right here. It's a big red maple that produces a lot of shade for me on this end of the bed. Now you can see that stump right there. That used to be a Crimson King maple, and then just the second year that we lived here, it just died. I don't even know why. One year it had foliage and the next year it was dead. So we cut it down. I never got the stump out. Maybe someday I'll do that. Right now I'm just kind of planting around it. But on this end, this is where we have all the shade. So in here we have some hostas. We've got a nice blue cadet in here against some white edged hostas. I honestly do not know which hosta that is. But I do know down at the bottom, those I just planted the other day, those are Miss Americas. And then we have some Mohican viburnums right here. We have one right there, another one there, and another one behind me. And the purpose of those is so that I can create a screen, because the road, see, it's right there. So I'm trying to create a little bit of privacy, but trying to do it with natural things, not like fencing. Although I might break down and do maybe a panel or two. We've got 3 hostas down here that we actually transplanted last year from one big hosta. We broke them up. See how fast that they regrow? Once they're, full grown and you divide them, they grow back pretty fast. I like the hostas that come up on their stalks like that before they open up. I always think that those look so good. And I think when they're up off the ground like that, they don't get eaten as fast by slugs. All right, we're going to come around this way. This is a bug bane here. It's in its 3rd year. It's starting to actually get some size on it, so I'm pretty happy about that. We've got some pretty Haconocloa grass here. This is the areola. And this is the wee white hydrangea by Proven Winners. It's an incredible, but it's a wee white. And it was super duper tiny in the April video. If you go look at it, there was like 3 leaves. So it's growing in pretty good. So I'm pretty happy about that. So this is the bed that we have to keep working on because I've got a great big empty patch here. Now, one of the suggestions that I got from one of the ladies in the last video when we did the cleanup of this bed was up here. She said maybe plant some yellow heliopsis. And I'm thinking, ooh, I think I really like that. And I think that is what I'm going to plant there. And I have an idea for a really tall center here, but we're going to have to go dig out the plant from the back 16 acres. And you can't buy it or sell it here, but I can plant it if I already have it on my property. So I might do that. So stay tuned. Our knockout roses look glorious. I like easy roses to grow. This is a knockout rose. This is the Radical Red. Even though it looks more like a hot pink, I do like this rose. I think it's so pretty and bright in the garden. Isn't that great? I love that. All right, then we come around here. We've got one Boom Chocolata geranium here. That's it. I just thought I'd try it and see if I liked it before I put any more in. The last time I planted a ground cover geranium like this, it was a roseane in the clay, and it got so incredibly big, it was bullying everything out in the bed. So I'm testing this one before I put more in. This is a Bobo hydrangea here, and then we've got a pink knockout rose. So these are the doubles. Isn't that pretty? That's just a pretty little rose, isn't it? All right, we've got some more alliums over here, and then we've got 2 heucheras that are just totally burning up. We're gonna have to move those for sure. All right, then we back up a little bit. Oh, look at our Veronica. It's starting to flower. This one here is Royal Candles. And then we have this is a trellis. I don't know if a lot of people know to grow this one. This one is called Cheddar. So hopefully it'll do well here. It's supposed to grow in part shade and full sun, so we'll see how that does. We've got some overdam grass here. I need to plant a third one to go with it because 2 just looks weird. Right, then we come into the hosta garden. This patch right here that you see right here, this was here when we moved in this little rectangle bed plunked down in the middle of the yard. So I left that part of it and I've been planting around it. Next to that, we have a glorious blue angel hosta. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that. And then we have a little Jacob's ladder called Stairway to Heaven right next to that. All right, you want to see some cicadas? Check this out. Here they are in all their glory. These guys are all crawling around. See, but they don't seem to be eating anything. That's right. Come up on there and let some birds come and pick you off. But then if you look at the underside, see, there's the skeleton. And then, see, there's more in there. Now they're on the Brunnera too. They weren't on the Brunnera before. Now they're on the Brunnera. This is a Jack of Diamonds by Proven Winners. It's in year 2. Look, it's doing pretty good for year 2. Here's some more of them ugly little bastards. Oh my God, you guys better not be eating my plants. But that's what you need to do. Go around and check. All right, then, oh, see, look, here's the graveyard down here of all their shells. Isn't that gross? Okay, well, moving on. Here's some more. Okay, yeah, they're everywhere back here, but it's weird because there's none on the hostas up front, but they're just kind of concentrated right in this area on my hostas. So I'm hoping the birds come and pick them off. Here we go. Nice big substance hosta right here. You can see I got the ajuga planted all along the edge. This is the Caitlin's Big, I think is what, or Big Caitlin's is what it's called. So this is a ground cover that will fill in along my edge here. I planted 13 plugs all the way down the edge. I didn't put them in front of the Brunnera, but I did put a couple right down here. And then if we go up the pathway, you can see in here that I did get the lamium put in. So we're going to fill this area in with lamium. And I'll tell you what, even those little plugs were hard to plant here because this is so thick with tree roots. But I want this to fill in, so we're hoping the lamium will take off. This is a white Nancy. And then we've got some hellebores here, little hostas. This is the same hosta that's up front, and I don't know its name. Oh, all right. And then we've got, I know this one's June. And then look at this one. Oh, I love this one. I have 3. And then I have an oak leaf hydrangea flanking either one in the raised bed up there. Isn't that awesome? All right, so see, that's my hosta bed. I think this thing is looking really, really nice. All right, cicadas, behave yourself. Birdies, come on, come eat these bugs. This is my green stalk planter, and I planted the whole thing up with strawberries. They're doing pretty good. I went through and I pinched most of the flowers off because I really want them to produce roots versus strawberries, even though, you know what, there's a strawberry there. It's probably not very good though. And there's a few flowers here and there. See, there's my strawberry flower. But for the most part, I just want these to be nice and healthy. So right now I'm watering it probably every 3rd day unless it rains, and we've had a lot of rain. And then I've got 2 raised beds here. Here's my lettuce. I actually need to cut this, and maybe I need to cut this for dinner. This was just some mixed lettuce. And then here, ooh, this guy's doing really well. This is a patty pan squash, and you can see a little baby squash down in there. See him? There he is. All right, and then I have a zucchini over here, and this is a bush zucchini. So he'll just grow in this area right here. We put some leftover geraniums here, and then here's our Greek oregano, and you can see our seeds are starting to come up from the nasturtiums and the calendula. All right, let's go this way. Here's my other little pot right here of lantana. It's my butterfly magnet. I definitely want to go over this garden here because we're actually getting ready to transplant a lot of the things that are in this garden. We are going to be revamping this garden and replanting it with some different things. There's a few things that are going to stay. We did the design this winter, and I'm starting to gather all of the material to be able to get everything in the ground. But the first thing I'll have to do is transplant the items that are in here. Now, right here, because we've had so much rain, this Sum and Substance hosta, oh my gosh, isn't that glorious? It doesn't always get this big because I don't have a drip line running to it. And if you want big hostas, you got to give them lots of water. And when they get lots of water, this is what they do. Isn't that beautiful? Behind that, check that out. That is another of the lemony lace elderberries. And yes, it is in shade. It does get some sun, and it's bigger than the one on the other side because that one gets even less sun. But look, it's growing and it's doing really super well. I am so happy. And this is clay. So when you get to the other side of the chair, that's all compost. But here, nope, this was clay. All right, we got another hosta right here. I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. I just like it. And then I do know that one's a blue cadet. And then we have started the lamium down here. Now this one is, I don't remember, but it's got little pink, purple flowers on it. Isn't that so pretty? And so we did White Nancy on the other one, but I started this one 2 years ago, so it's filling in really super nice. Then we got our 3 boxwoods here, and again, I've never pruned these. These are winter gems. Don't they have the nicest shape to them? I just love them. So, And then we got another little hosta right here. Swing around. Now these 2 hostas will be moving into new homes. And then I think these containers are doing pretty good. We did a heuchera in this one. We did lettuce. See, the lettuce blends in. They're really super nice. We did white lobelia. We did a bacopa that trails down and gets these little white flowers on them. And then we did the surefire white begonias. We did a chocolate drop in this one, and then a different coleus. It's from the main street, but I don't remember the name of it. So these are coming along really nice. And what I love about it is I can take that heuchera and I can put that in the landscape later. Oh, and that spiky flower. What is that? It's a cordyline. Nice. All right, moving right along. Oh, here's Lady's Mantle. Isn't this great? It is in bloom and it looks beautiful. Isn't that great? Now we are going to be adding more Lady's Mantle along the edge because it'll grow in sun or shade. And see, this is what happens to my lungwort. It just rained yesterday, but see, it's getting too much sun and it's wilting. And if I don't add supplemental water to this, it will scorch right up. So I'm having to water this all the time, or it looks like this. So I am definitely transplanting the 2 lungworts. Now this is the Mrs. Moon. I really like it, but it doesn't do well here. It just isn't getting enough water. Or actually, I don't know that it's water as it is sun. It's just getting too much sun. Behind that, we have 3 astilbes, and those are also going to be moving along with the white bleeding heart that I have back here. And I'm trying to enjoy them, before I have to transplant them, because I will be cutting this stuff back. I'm not going to transplant big old plants like this. This is my old-fashioned bleeding heart. See, it's almost on the end. It had probably 10 times as many hearts on it earlier. I have another bug bane right there. I'm going to dig that out and move it. It's only in year 2. And then I just moved some Arionias here yesterday because when we get around the corner, you'll see why. And then here's my beast, my black lace elderberry that needs a haircut, something fierce. But oh, look at those beautiful flowers on there. I don't have the heart to cut it back until it's done flowering. And then I'm going to hack it probably in half to kind of control the size because these guys get really big. He is covering that whole corner right there. Isn't that beautiful though? Just take a look back at the garden. Isn't it pretty? It's so peaceful back there. And I'm getting closer and closer every year to having it be what I want it to be. I'm trying to be very mindful of keeping it as low maintenance as I can. Now, yeah, that doesn't mean that I don't have cleanups to do in the fall, because that's always a job no matter what when you have gardens. But I'm getting it to where I don't have a ton of maintenance through the season, and I'm just able to enjoy the gardens. Don't be mad at me, you guys. I did something without you, but I didn't do it on purpose. I thought the camera was rolling and it wasn't. So I didn't get anything on camera, but I'll show you what I did in another video, but I'll take you through what we did. We did this yesterday. So I couldn't take the grassy weeds anymore. I was like, I got to get this under control. So let's go take a look at the connecting bed between the cottage garden and the front garden. Also, it's not finished, okay? It's just the start of it. All right, so we're gonna come around the corner to the cottage garden, and yesterday this was weeds up to my knees and grass. And so we went through, we string trimmed them all down, and all that cardboard that I was saving, we got it down in this area right here, and then I put compost on top and then mulch. Now, I'm not gonna plant that area. I'm gonna let that sit for a year. I did run landscape fabric down here, this big long stretch, because this is gonna have rock and I don't want the rock to work its way into the ground, so the fabric is here. We didn't put the rock down because I need to build a little wall right here, and so I want to build the wall first before I put the rock. Those aronias that I just showed you, Arionias, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but they were right here and they were in the way, so I picked them up and I moved them. And then those 3 Miss America hostas that I told you I just planted, they were right there, so I picked those up and I moved those. Now I'm probably going to leave this oak leaf hydrangea, but you can see it's not doing as well as it should because this guy is hogging all the space. So he definitely needs to be cut back so that this guy can recover. This year he's probably going to look pathetic, but next year he'll look better. I have a striptease hosta in here. Isn't that great? I love this hosta. I just think it's so pretty. I'll probably end up moving these hostas and doing something else back there, but I definitely want to keep them because I love those hostas. These also are winter gem boxwoods. This is the north side of my house. And then over here I have a big pile of boulders, which I don't need now, so I'm going to be taking those back. Oh, I'm still looking forward to wheelbarrowing all of those back to the garden center. And then I have a blue hosta here. This is a Big Daddy Blue. And then we have our Jim Dandy he's not a sweet spiral. What is he? Jim Dandy Ilex right here, and he pollinates my 4 little sprites over there to get the red berries. You can see a little bit of the cardboard right there, but if you come in here and we dig around, see, you can see all the compost here, and then if I just keep going, eventually I'm going to hit cardboard. There it is. So there's the cardboard there. So I'm just going to let that cardboard break down naturally. I didn't want to just have a big pile of compost here because our compost isn't chippy. Our compost is kind of more like dirt than it is compost with chips or broken down mulch. So I topped mine with mulch so that it doesn't get all weedy, which it won't get weedy because there's weeds in the compost. It'll get weedy because of the birds or the wind or animals doing whatever they do in there. So I don't want that to happen. Now I do have a serviceberry in here, and that was already planted. I actually planted it like 6 weeks ago because we overwintered it and it was so stressed out in its container. I didn't think it was going to live. You can tell it's still stressing a little because see how it's got some orange leaves kind of throughout it, just here and there. That's a sign of stress. And so we're going to baby this along. It's looking really good right now, and we're going to hope that it's going to survive. You guys want to see the cottage garden? I'm pretty excited about the cottage garden and how well it's doing, how much survived. I think there's a few changes that I'm going to make, but there's things that I want to add, but I'm almost hesitant to do it. I kind of want to see how big everything's going to get first, because again, I did not amend the soil. This is all clay. Now, I did amend this area right here because I just dumped a whole bunch of compost there, and I amended this area right there, but I didn't amend anything else. Now, because I dumped this big pile of compost down here, this is now higher and that is now lower. So I think what I'm going to have to do is either build a little bitty wall right there, or I'm going to have to dig up these 3 things, add compost just to raise them up. Should be easy enough to do because they've only been in there for what, 6 months, 8 months? That's it. So it should be really super easy. So this is our Wine and Roses Woodgelia. There's my shovel and my garbage because I just finished weeding this morning. Now, I have a hollyhock that came in right here. I originally had 3, but only 1 came back. And then we have a beauty bush here that I thought was dead. But I did a little research, and they actually should be cut back to the ground every single year, and then they're kind of late to emerge. But then when they come back, they're glorious. So isn't that great? So all of those did really well. Our boxwoods, these are the Green Mountains, did absolutely fabulous all winter, unlike the ones up front in the pots. I'll show you those. Those are my boxwood shame. They are pretty much dead. Oh my God, I killed them. So moving on though to the stuff that looks good. These are David Austin's Lady of Shalott roses, and they are absolutely gorgeous, and they are loaded up, budded up, and check out the color on that. Isn't that gorgeous? The problem is, I don't think these are climbers. I thought they were, but I think I'm wrong. I did a little research, and I'm pretty sure this is a shrub rose. And I could swear I saw on the tag that it said climbing rose. And I know that Laura on Garden Answer at Monica's house planted Lady of Shalotts to climb on her trellis at her house. But I'm almost positive these are shrub roses, or at least the ones I have are shrub roses. So we're gonna have to dig them out and move them. And I have 2 others that I got, I don't remember the name. I have them stashed in my hoop house that we're gonna switch them out with. And I'll find a home for these gorgeous, gorgeous roses. But I want them to climb. So out they go and new ones will go in. Let's keep going. Ah, look at our yarrow. These 3 little bitty nothings last year. This is the summer pastels. These are going to be absolutely stunning. We have another hollyhock up there, and then the nepeta is the cat's pajamas that flanks it right here. So we have 3 hollyhocks. 1, 2, 3. And then in between the hollyhocks, those are hibiscus. Isn't that great? I love that. All right, our Italian ice rose is doing really well. We have 1 on this side and 1 on that side. Now we did lose the shrub that we put right here. It was a spilled wine woodgilla. It died like within 2 weeks of me putting it in, and I just haven't decided what I want to put in its place. This was a batch of iris called And the Cubs Win It, and it was stunning, the flower on that. We do have some Tuscan Gold Heliopsis here that we are going to have to move because they are way too close to this rose. So I'm just going to pop these up out of the ground and kind of move them over here so they're more in this area. And then we have the Cat's Meow Pajama, or Cat's Meow Pajamas. The Cat's Meow Nepeta from Proven Winners is right here. These are our Arctic Fire Red Twig Dogwoods, and we have a whole line of those. They all survive. They all look great, and they go all the way down and they flank the outside edge of the bed. I love them. All right, over here, we only ended up having 1 of our daylilies come back. Well, 2. Look, isn't it weird what Mother Nature does? Here's the other one. It's all tiny down there, and I don't know, the 3rd one didn't survive, but the daylilies did. So the daylilies are here, and the veronica underneath the tree all look good. This is a royal raindrop tree, and we're gonna let it grow for a couple years, and then as it's growing, we'll work on shaping it. It's kind of got a funky shape right now, but I think it'll all fill in eventually and catch up. All right, we have 3 black-eyed Susans. These are the American Gold Rush, and then over here we have some more coneflowers. There was 5 of them when I started. It looks like there's only 4, and I see a weed I missed right there. I see you hiding under there. Look at that happy little bush. This is a Mops False Cypress. I just love the chartreuse color on this. It holds this color. It will get bigger. I love this shrub. It is so pretty. Next to that, we have our homemade planter that we did out of the paver blocks. We've got the Back in Black sedum in here from Proven Winners, and then we put the lemon coral ground cover sedum in there. That here is an annual, but I love the 2 colors together, and I like the 3, like the little trio right there. Doesn't that look nice? Only 1 of our variegated little Heliopsis made it. I might try to get 2 more and get them in here or put something else in. This is the white coneflowers, and again, there were 5, only 4 survived. Going this way. All right, so if we jump up here, that was our surprise peony, and as you can see, it's this really pretty purple pink. Kind of a, I don't even know what that color would be. It's not fuchsia. Maybe in the camera it looks fuchsia, but it survived and it did really well. This one here was white, and then we got our rose here, and check it out. This thing is all budded up. Look at that. And then we have another hibiscus back there. Our service berry's doing well, along with our bur oak back there. I like this little area over here. We've got the denim and lace, Russian sage. We've got 3 alliums, our pencil point junipers. These only get 6 feet tall, and they stay nice and skinny like that. Aren't they pretty? I think they're cool. And then we have another cat's pajamas, nepeta back here, followed by some pink potion veronica underneath our tulip tree. And oh my gosh, I just planted this tulip tree. I'm not kidding you guys. It's in its 3rd year. I can't believe how fast this thing is growing. Isn't that great? Look at that. And then for kind of a backup look of the cottage garden, isn't that nice? I just think this thing is one of my favorite places to hang out at night. Now it's hot out here during the day, but at night it's really nice out here. Now, if I do come back along the back edge here, I did have another peony right here. It is red. And then I cut all the flowers off of them because I want the energy to go towards producing a big, nice plant. And then we've got our agastache here. This is the Blue Fortune. And then we have a grass down here and another boxwood. This is the same grass here. It's a Cheyenne Sky. It's a panicum from Proven Winners. It doesn't get very big, maybe 3 by 3. Isn't it the cutest little thing ever? I love it. So when I'm copping a squat here at my fire pit, kicking my feet up with a drink, this is my view. Now the only view I've got to improve on is that one of the parking lot. And I need to get something planted in here that will block this view faster than those arborvitaes are growing. So hopefully these red twig dogwoods will get up there pretty high. They're supposed to get 5 feet, maybe 6 feet. That will give me a better screening. Now all those cars aren't there at night, but I still don't want to look at the garden center. All right, so off we go to the front garden bed, which is the last bed to look at. And as you can see here, this is my holding bed of stuff that we dug out of the front garden bed when we did the renovation. Everything is doing really well. It's probably going to all end up growing together, and I'll end up having to separate it. But we've got daisies back here. We've got some hostas, some black-eyed Susans. These are the Viet's Little Susies. Some Zagreb Coreopsis. This is the paprika yarrow right in here. Some more black-eyed Susans. We've got some gentle shepherd white daylilies in here. So this was everything that we dug out. We kind of basically just put the root balls on the ground and then we covered them up with compost. So those are going to sit there until I figure out what to do with them. Now, we do have another service berry here that flanks us going out into the yard. And then this is the bed that we just did. So I just revamped, re-cleaned up, and replanted this bed, and I'm loving it. So over here we've got our Korean spice viburnum here. Here is our new arborvitae that we put in, along with our solar flare baptisia. Isn't that just stunning? Love it. Oh my God, I love that plant. All right, come around here. We've got our peonies. This is a Sarah Bernhardt peony, along with some different sedum here. It's variegated. Isn't that kind of cool looking how those are variegated? Then we've got our white pine, and then we've got a limelight hydrangea, our weeping Norway spruce. Love that tree. I'm going to plant some annuals in here. I just haven't done it yet. And then if we swing around to this side, we've got our yarrow here, or our achillea, and this one is the coronation gold, followed by some dark towers penstemon. We planted 3 of the spireas here. These are the double play doozies. We've got our bird's nest spruce, our Zagreb Coreopsis with a little turtle swimming in them, and then our Veronica, our Sedona bowl. Isn't that great? Look at that. The black petunias in there. Isn't that fantastic? I love that. And then we did the purple wild rose heuchera, and then we have a white coneflower back there, and then some boxwoods here, and then some more annuals I've got to get in the ground. Then we've got a little patch of the matrix Asiatic lilies right here, and then a big patch of black-eyed Susans, followed by our little quick fires along the driveway. And then if we come over here, I have another baptisia that is absolutely glorious. This is just a regular Baptisia australis. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the flowers on that. I just love the color. It's so beautiful. And then kind of a backed up look here of this garden. And then that little grass that you see down there, right there, that's a Hamlin grass. And then we'll plant some annuals right here too. See? It's coming together, you guys. And then right here, that is the design that we did that we'll be putting in to kind of tie them all together. And that is my plans for this year. I can't wait. All right, let's take a look at the pots in the front, and then my dead boxwoods. So this is so my fault. I had these in these pots, and I even said I'm going to drag them into the garage, and then somebody put in the comments, oh, I live in zone 5, you don't have to put them in the garage. I knew I was supposed to put them in the garage, and I didn't. And see, here they are in all their brown dead glory, because you cannot overwinter a plant in a pot unless it is zoned 2 zones colder or higher or lower. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm in zone 5, so these should have been zone 3. They weren't. They were zone 5, and they crisped right up. So I'm going to have to get those out of there and get 2 new ones. Oh, I know. All right, here's pot number 1. Isn't that looking good? We've got some English ivy in there. And into blue flowers this year. I don't know if I'm saying this right or not. Evolvulus. It's called Blew My Mind. It's from Proven Winners. I just think that this thing is cool. Then we've got the ivy. We've got an icicle helichrysum in the middle. I also did another supervena called Violet Ice. That's this one right there. This guy is a mini vista pink star. I just like this pot. I can't wait till it fills in. I just did this one. Isn't that pretty? Here's my other glorious dead Green Mountain boxwood. The backside doesn't look as bad as the front side, but I don't think I can bring that back even with a little shearing. So we're just gonna have to say bye-bye. That makes me so sad that I did that. I knew better. All right, my last pot here again is the Saffron finch. Isn't that great? I also did a fiber optic grass in here, another one of the icicle helichrysum, and then I did, the violet ice again on the supervena. So that will all fill in, and it's kind of just to mirror a little bit of the other side. And then I did this little bowl right here on my little Teacart because I wanted my little Teacart there. So in here I did the creeping Jenny. I did the jazzberry super petunia. This is a vista. And then I did the violet night lobularia, which it kind of cycled out in the pot. So I just actually fed these. And then I did another helichrysum in here. So I'm loving that pot too. It's going to look gorgeous. The last update I wanted to give you was on the 2 Japanese lilacs that we planted called Ivory Silk. These guys get 20 to 30 feet tall and about 15 feet wide. They both survived the winter. They're both doing well. They're still babies. We'll keep an eye on them, but I'm really, really excited about these 2 trees. Oh my gosh, it is such a glorious day out here. I don't want to go back to work, but I have to finish packing up the truck so that I'm ready to go tomorrow, because tomorrow is setup. And it takes us about 6 hours to set our booth up at the garden fair. I am so excited to go to this. Hopefully it doesn't rain on Saturday, but I will show you guys all of that next week. You can check it out. I hope you enjoyed our tour today. I hope you enjoyed being in the garden with me, and I hope you get in your garden today. I'm Michelle. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.